All right, Connor here breaking down your workout for Wednesday. Question of the day, what spice do you use most often? Does salt count? Probably use salt most often. And then the warm-up, 5 minutes of movement. So we're not counting rounds and reps. We're just moving around, trying to get our body temperature up. So 5 inchworm to hollow, 10 jump lunges, and then 10-second hollow hold. So moving around for 5 minutes, but again, don't worry about how many rounds and reps you get. So inchworm to hollow, start standing, reach down towards the ground, walk your hands away from your feet, and then I'm going to continue to walk them out as far as I can. Oops, I lost my shoe. Into a good hollow position. My shoes almost came off. Let me do that one more time. Alright, so walk your hands away from your feet as far as you can. Walk your feet back up towards your hands. Jump lunges. Light touch the knee, jump to the other side, back and forth. If you don't feel good jumping, for some reason, because of an injury or whatever it is, you can step up, step back. And then hollow hold. So, priority is keeping that lower back in contact with the ground. If you need to, you can bring one leg or both legs or arms at your side, whatever you need to do to keep that lower back on the ground for 20 seconds. Strength for today. All right, we have 4 rounds, 10 bent over rows per arm, and 10 overhead press per arm. Not for time. And if you have a barbell and you'd like to do it with the barbell, then obviously not per arm, right? Just 10 bent over rows, and then 10 overhead press. But let's say you've got a kettlebell. All right, if you got a kettlebell, mess today. All right, if you got a kettlebell, what you're gonna do for your bent over rows, let's say I wanna use my right arm, I'm going to rotate towards the left a bit. My left arm is gonna brace on that knee, and then I'm gonna take the kettlebell, row it up to my rib cage, and then all the way down to my arm straight. When I'm gonna use my left arm, I switch, right? Rotate towards my right, brace, and then row up towards my rib cage. Same thing with a dumbbell, all right? You can also do bent over rows with a plate, right? So if you don't have a barbell, but you got a plate, grab the plate, right? So back's flat, reach back, pull the plate up to your chest, and then make sure your arms are straight at the bottom. The overhead press, right? So again, if I have a barbell, it's just normal strict press. For the kettlebell, I want to start with the kettlebell in my front rack, meaning my elbows down against my ribs, right? And then from this position, I'm going to press straight up, keeping that thumb rotated back so my arm's locked out, and then all the way back down towards that front rack. All right, so 10 on one side, and then I would switch arms and do 10 on the other side. So there's our strength for today. All right. The conditioning. So we've got 8 rounds, 1 minute of work, and 1 minute of rest. So in 1 minute, you're gonna do as many rounds as you can of 5 ground overhead and 5 burpees. Rest a minute, and then do it again, rest a minute, do it again, so on and so forth until you've completed 8 rounds. So for the ground to overhead, you've got plenty of options. You can do dumbbell, ground to overhead, right? You can do one arm or two arm dumbbell, ground to overhead. You can do kettlebell, ground to overhead. Well, technically it wouldn't be ground to overhead, but the kettlebell, I'll show you in a second, would be a clean and a jerk, but the clean is just like our normal swings. Or you can do a plate, ground to overhead. You can do barbell, ground to overhead. So you got plenty of options, but whatever you choose, you want to make sure that you can do all 5 in a row across a few rounds, right? And then you get that minute rest, and then you'll want to be able to do another 5 in a row across a few rounds, right? So the weight shouldn't be too hard. It should feel like you can touch and go for a bunch of rounds. All right, let's see. We'll first go over the kettlebell, clean and jerk. So if you're doing the kettlebell, right? If you got one kettlebell, you can do your clean into the front rack, overhead, and then bring it down, clean, overhead. Right, after 5, I would do 5 on the other side. All right, let's go over the plate ground to overhead. This is a little different, but it's a fun variation. So if you got a plate, you're gonna grab the sides of the plate, right? Just tap on the ground and overhead, and then bring it back down up to the front rack, and then press it overhead. Right, so it feels a little bit like a dumbbell snatch or a clean and jerk, kind of a mixture of the two, where you're just taking it from the ground and driving it straight overhead. Keep it close to the body, right? Don't let it swing out and around. So one more time, right? Keep it close and then press overhead. All right, now your burpees. You can do regular burpees. You can do burpees over a bar if you're using a barbell, burpees over a dumbbell or kettlebell. If you're using a plate, you can do burpees to the plate. So that would be chest and thighs hit the ground, and hop up, jump up on top of the plate, right? So you got plenty of options today. Check out the videos that we've been posting on different variations for all these exercises. And if you're on social media, make sure you use the hashtag SCFVirtual.